Alright Bladers, today we're taking a look at more aggressive builds than what we did yesterday. Yesterday was essentially more balanced type, but today we're going to see how well can the Aero Pegasus do when it's on more aggressive bits. Now the bits we're going to have today is going to be Rush, Excel, Cyclone, Low Flat, and Gear Flat. I'm not going to be using just standard flat because honestly I think flat, it's not really the bit that you want to go for with this. You're going to want something a little bit more unique, or at least something that can basically bring out the most potential of this bay. And I feel like flat is way too standard and just kind of like very neutral. So we're doing something that's either super hyper aggressive or something that has more gimmick like low flat, so that way it can get more uppercuts. But Excel is also really good with catching the X line. So things that are essentially like favoring a certain style more than the other. And for the ratchets, we're going to be using 360, which is already on the Pegasus. We're going to be using 760, 160, 960, and 560. I'm not going higher than any of those, but yeah, I think these are pretty much going to be the go-to ratchets, but we'll see how everything plays out. First, we're doing 360 Cyclone. 3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1, go. Now the first one I want to talk about is going to be the 360 Cyclone. This is, I think it works well. Of all the testings I've done, it works decent, but yeah, Cyclone is kind of like a lot of people say, a poor man's Rush. I think it works extremely well, but it's definitely not the one you're gonna want on right side. It loses way too much stamina, like so quickly, but it is very aggressive, so I do enjoy it, but more so gimmick builds. I think if I'm going to have this in my deck and I'm actually gonna be playing like super aggressive, super competitive, I'm probably not gonna be using Cyclone. 360 ratchet is always a pretty neutral, safe ratchet to use, so that's why I pretty much stuck it on the Cyclone. Overall though, it's fine, but I don't think it's hyper competitive. Next is 560 Gear Flat. 3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1, go. Next, take a look at the 560 Gear Flat. This is super aggressive. Actually does have a tiny bit of stamina, but yeah, it just, once again, like Cyclone, it loses stamina very quickly. Overall, 560 is pretty safe, but has a little bit more aggression to it than the 360, obviously. I think overall, this is a pretty great build. But I don't think this is the exact build I'm looking for. But yeah, Gear Flat is definitely aggressive. It can do some pretty nice like over finishes. What I've noticed, especially if you're doing heavy tilts, does really well with that. And obviously 560 is just really great. And this ratchet in particular is just beautiful when it comes to overall colors, because you got that nice little like greenish blue that matches the blade itself. So yeah, the ratchet I'm actually really happy about. But yeah, Gear Flat, it's fine, but the overall build I would say is just a notch above the Cyclone build. 760 Excel. 3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1, go. It's heavy. It's a heavy one. Only 1 point. 3, 2, 1, go. Now for the 760 Excel. This is a crazy build that I was thinking about, and I was like, I want to incorporate 760 into a hyper aggressive build somehow. Off the bat, I was like, okay, 760 is not going to work on low flat whatsoever. I don't think it was going to be that great on Cyclone, so I was kind of like landing on rush and then gear flat, but I was like, gear flat. I kind of want something a little bit lighter. This just seems way too heavy for gear flat. For what I would like to do. It's just gonna make it lose way too much stamina too quickly. And kind of the same for rush. So I was like, okay, what can I just do one huge, massive hit with all the weight I can give essentially. And I was like, Excel just basically would be the perfect bit for a 760 ratchet. Did it work out? I think it did for the most part, but it's very, very odd. I like this and I want to keep testing. So I actually wrote this down. This is like the main aggressive build that I want to keep testing on the Pegasus. I think this actually works really damn well, but hey, I need like other professionals to battle against, just so I can go ahead and try to test certain launch styles and techniques. And especially against other people when they launch certain styles and techniques. But yeah, this is one I think can be taken, can be written down. I think it works pretty damn well. Next is going to be a 160 on rush. 3, 2, 1, go. Losing stamina. Okay, only 1 point. 3, 2, 1, go. And buy me 2 points. 3, 2, 1, go. Almost. Alright, Mommy's at 3 points. 3, 2, 1, go. Aggressive, come on, hit. It's hidden, but wrong ways. Yeah, Mommy, all 4 points. All right, let's talk 160 rush. This was, I think, a lot of people's requested build. And this is one thing that you're really gonna have to note whenever you're putting this on. So obviously you've got 2 different ways that you could put this on. If you're putting it on this way, you can see right here it's going to align more with the edge of the blade, so it works pretty well. But if you're gonna try and put it on the other side and clip it in, what you're gonna notice is that it's gonna be way more exposed because there's like the gap right here. So whenever you're applying the 160, please ensure that you're putting it on the side that has the thicker part of the blade exposed, so that way you are trying to hit with the blade and you're not trying to hit them with the ratchet. The rush is obviously an amazing bit for hyper aggression. 160 just kind of allows more of like the tilt, so that way you can try and get under and get those like crit hits more often than not. I think this is probably one of the go-to like builds. This is probably gonna be your average aggressive build, I would assume, honestly. It works really good, works really well. I like it. I want to keep testing with it because I think it's extremely fun. But when I was thinking about my overall deck, so I use 560 rush on my Phoenix Wing. It works phenomenal, but I do want to try out 160 rush on the Phoenix Wing and just see how that's going to compare to Pegasus. If Phoenix is just going to be the most optimal, then I'm probably going to just go with that, honestly. Like Phoenix Wing is probably be the 160 or the 560 rush. I still need to test the stamina defensive style builds. But yeah, I think if you are gonna do aggressive and you don't mind like doing Phoenix Wing with like maybe Hexa or Ball or something else, this is definitely going to be one of your best bets for aggression. There's gonna be a 960 on a low flat. 3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1, go. Almost. There we go. And lastly is going to be the 960 low flat. Yeah, the reason I did 960 instead of any other bit or any other ratchet is because this doesn't really drag much if I'm doing more tilted angled launches, so that way like the ratchet itself isn't really dragging onto the stadium, much like 560, because this just protrudes way more, especially like 760. It's just going to protrude so much. So yeah, I opted with the 960 because I can do more tilted launches and it's going to be completely fine. And I just feel like overall 960 is always a better compatibility with low flat, in my personal opinion. People can disagree, that's fine. But yeah, this is probably I had the most results out of, like the most positive results out of. Second, definitely going to be low flat with the 160. Excel did really great, but yeah, I would say this right here is amazing. However, I still think that the low flat bit is so much better on Shark Edge. So yeah, or even Tyranno beat, but I would probably opt out to do Shark Edge. If you're gonna do a low flat bit on a blade in your deck, maybe Shark Edge would be the best one, but this is still great. I still want to do some comparisons with some other like blades, some other blades with this combo, namely Shark Edge, Tyranno beat, Phoenix Wing, and just see how it's going to do in comparison. But yeah, as of right now, I think this is going to be your go-to combination. Alright guys, that is it for the video. I gave you my verdict. Let me know in the comment section below, what are your thoughts on the aggressive build? What combination have you tested with the Aero Phoenix and had the best results? For the ones that don't have Aero Phoenix, what combination have you possibly seen around social media that has basically given the best results? This is all just personal testing with me and my wife, and I did a lot of individual testing with myself, doing both simultaneous launches and launching a couple of blades like the Phoenix Wing and launching the Wizard Rod into the stadium first, and then launching the Pegasus. A lot of times you would think, oh, well, obviously the Wizard Rod would lose because it's launching first. No, that's not the case. Definitely a lot of times Pegasus just runs out of stamina, cannot make the kill, or it's self KOing because of ricochet and counterattacking by the Wizard Rod. So yeah, variables are all over the place. However, I still think this is a beautiful, amazing Beyblade. I gotta grind so hard to find out what is going to be the best attack style combination for this blade. But anyways guys, that's all for me. That's all I got. I'm tired. I'm ready to go ahead, lay down, and dream about Beyblades spinning in an arena. But that's it for me. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye.